All right, so we're on to lecture 28, part C, last part of this lecture. So far in these lectures, we've been talking about one concentration unit, right? And that concentration unit is molarity, moles over liters. All right, now what we're going to talk about in this part is there are other ways to talk about concentration. So specifically, we're going to look at another concentration unit, and the one that we're going to talk about is something called percent. Oh, I guess I'll write it down here. Percent by mass. Percent by mass. All right, so percent by mass is another way of talking about concentration. And you actually see this if you buy like different products around at CVS or whatever. Like this bottle here says 91% alcohol, this rubbing alcohol. So that's measuring concentration using a percentage. 91% by weight of this bottle is alcohol. The other 9%, if you're wondering, it's water. All right. So the way we figure out percent by mass is this. It's the mass of the solute. So it's the mass of what you're dissolving divided by the total mass of the solution times 100. When you multiply it times 100, that makes it a percent. So it's the mass of the solute. What's the solute again? Oh, that's the thing you have less of, divided by the total mass of the solution. All right, let's do a little example. All right, so let's say you buy a bottle of vinegar down at Vaughn's or whatever, and vinegar, let's pretend, contains 12.8 grams of acid in 225 grams of water. And I want to know, what is the percent by mass of acid in the vinegar? All right. So a bottle of vinegar contains 12.8 grams of acid and 228 grams of water. What's the percent by mass of acid in the vinegar? All right, now let's see where all these numbers are going to go. So the thing you have less of, that's the solute. That's the acid in this case. Only got 12 grams of acid. So that's the formula tells me percent by mass is going to be the mass of the solute, which is 12.8 grams, all right, divided by the total mass of the solution. Now, this can mess you up. Total mass of the solution. The solution is everything. The solution is the acid and the water together. So what sometimes people will do is they'll say, oh, that 225, that's going to be on the bottom. No, sorry, it's not. Because on the bottom, it has to be the total weight, the weight of everything together. So on the bottom, the total mass, that is the weight of the acid and the vinegar. You've got to add, in other words. And then you're going to multiply times 100. All right, so the way this question is written, I didn't give you the total mass of the solution. I gave you the mass of the water part and the mass of the acid part. To get the total, you put them together. Now, if you work it out, let's see here, it would be, gosh, I don't have a lot of room. I think I could fit in here. It would be 12.8, and then the total weight on the bottom, if you add those two numbers together, it turns out to be 237.8 times 100 still. And if you work it out, you should be getting 5.38%. 5.38%. All right, so with that, hopefully it's not too bad. Just be careful that on the bottom you have the total weight. That's usually where people go wrong. All right. So with that, oh, let's see if you can try one. Let's just make sure this made sense. I hope it does. Let's flip over, and I'm going to give you one to try here. All right, let's flip to the next slide here. All right. A solution is made by dissolving 5 grams of salt and 85 grams of water. What's the mass percent of salt? So they show you, this is a picture of an IV. This is sort of what an IV is, right? An IV is salt and water, or it can be. It could be sugar and water, salt and water, or both, actually. All right, so If you dissolve 5 grams of salt in 85 grams of water, what's the mass percent? Oh, work it out. What'd you get? All right, well, let's see if you got it right. All right, so percent by mass. Mass of the solute. That is the thing you have less of. That's the salt. 5. Divided by the total mass. It's not 5, it's not 85. You got to add them together. 5 and 85, it's 95. 90, guys, sorry. And then you times it by 100 to make it a percent. So if you work it out, the mass percent, oh, let me work it out just to double check my notes. And then you times it by 100. Oh yeah, that works out. They rounded a little bit, didn't they? But it's basically the closest answer. You should have gotten B. I got something a little bit less than B. I got 5.55. They must have rounded up or something, huh? All right, with that, hopefully that made sense. And we'll move on into this video. Oh, there's one more problem I want to do, actually. One more. Okay, so let me flip over and let me show you one more that's related to this. A little bit different example. All right. All right, our final example. All right, let's see here. It says a solution is 11.5% sugar. Oh, this time I'm telling you what the percentage is. It's 11.5% sugar. What mass of this solution contains 85.2 grams of sugar? This one's a little bit different. Before, a minute ago, I asked you to solve for the percentage. This time I'm telling you the percentage. So let's try to start off by maybe making a little sketch, and then let's see if we can figure out what the heck is going on here. So a solution is 11.5% sugar. And I want to know what mass, so what weight, how many grams will we need so that inside of that solution there is 82.5 grams of sugar. All right. So maybe, you know, because there's going to be a bunch of water and stuff, like what weight of stuff would we need so that inside the bottle there's 82 grams of sugar? It's not a bottle of pure sugar. There's a bunch of water in there too. So how much of this solution would we need so that if we were to drink it or whatever, you actually are ingesting 82.5 grams of sugar? All right. Does that make sense for the setup? I hope it does. All right, well, let's do the math now. All right, so percent. Well, we learned a formula percent by mass. It says, let's write it out again. It's the mass of the solute divided by the total mass times 100. All right, so what I'm trying to figure out is what mass of this solution. I'm talking about the total mass. What's the total mass going to be? That's what we're looking for. All right. So to do this, we got to know every other number, and then we're going to have to do a little algebra. All right. So we're looking for the total mass. I guess I could write that here. This is the total mass of the solution, right? That was what's on bottom. We're looking for that number. All right. A solution is 11.5% sugar. Oh, that's the number on the left. All right. What mass of this solution? Well, that's what I'm looking for. I guess I'll just keep writing total mass. That's what I'm solving for. Contains 82.5 grams of sugar. So the sugar is the solute. The sugar is what we've dissolved in the water. The sugar is the thing we have less of, apparently. That's going to be 82.5 grams. And then you times it by 100. That's because it's a percent. Now, to work this out, there's lots of ways of doing this, and I'm going to show you one way, and I'm going to show you the algebra way. There are other ways. You could actually kind of do this problem as a converting problem. If you look in your textbook, they show you how to do this as a converting problem, but I'm going to do it like an algebra problem. All right, so I'm solving for the total mass. Now, you notice again, man, we got a fraction looking thing. Have I ever told you fractions are good for you? No, fractions are pains. Get rid of the fraction. Cross multiply. So we'll get 11.5% equals, times the total mass equals 82.5 times 100. All right. Now I got to divide by, now I got to get the total mass by itself. So I divide by 11 and a half. All right. I would divide by 11 and a half. And let's go ahead and do that. Because if I divide by 11 and a half, what happens on the left? Oh, the 11.5 is going to cancel out. Oh, I'm going to have to sneeze here in a minute. Let's see if I can finish this problem first. So then you get the total mass. Oh, I'm going to write it down here. Is 82.5 times 100 divided by 11.5. All right. So, oh, I think that looks right. If you work it out, you should get 741 grams. So what does that mean? What does this mean? What did I figure out? Well, I figured out that if I grab 741 grams of this solution, inside of that, there's going to be 82.5 grams of sugar. The rest would be water. It's an 11.5% solution. So out of that bottle, if you had 741 grams of solution inside of there would be 82.5 grams of sugar. All right, the rest of the weight would be water weight. All right, I hope that made sense. If not, you can ask me, send me an email. That's actually it for solutions. That's all we're going to do. So in our next lecture, we're going to move on to another topic. So lecture 28, we're all done. Hopefully it made sense. If not, let me know. I'm here to help you. That's my job. You can call me. You can email me. You can come to our Zoom times. We can answer plenty of questions there. I'll see you on the good old internet soon, I hope. Bye-bye for now.